Have you ever heard of a mystery so baffling that even a king couldn't solve it? Well, get ready for a tale of magic, secrets, and a whole lot of worn-out shoes. In a grand kingdom, there lived a king with 12 beautiful daughters. But every single morning, something bizarre happened. The princess's shoes, 12 pairs of them, were completely danced to pieces, as if they'd been at a wild party all night long. The strangest part, their bedroom door was always locked from the outside. The king was at his wits' end. He made a royal proclamation. Any man who could solve the mystery within 3 days and 3 nights would win the hand of one of his daughters and inherit the entire kingdom. The prize was huge, and soon princes and nobles from all over flocked to the castle, eager to try their luck. But one by one, they all failed. Each evening, the eldest princess would offer the suitor a cup of juice, and each morning he'd be found fast asleep, having discovered nothing. The shoes, of course, were tattered and torn again. One day, a kind-hearted young man, who wasn't a prince but had a sharp mind, decided to take on the challenge. On his way to the castle, he met a frail old woman. He shared his meager bread and water with her without a second thought. Touched by his kindness, the old woman revealed a secret. She gave him a magical cloak that could make him invisible and warned him, "Whatever you do, do not drink what the princesses offer you." The young man thanked her and went to the castle. That night, just as the old woman predicted, the eldest princess brought him a glass of fruit juice. Remembering the warning, he only pretended to sip it, then feigned deep sleep. As soon as the princesses thought he was asleep, they excitedly dressed in their finest gowns. The eldest clapped her hands, and her bed sank into the floor, revealing a hidden staircase. Throwing on his invisibility cloak, the young man quietly followed them down the winding steps. They passed through 3 breathtaking forests, one with leaves of silver, another of gold, and a third of sparkling diamonds. To prove what he saw, the young man carefully broke off a small silver branch from the first forest. He was so quiet, only the youngest princess heard a tiny snap. She felt uneasy, but her sisters just laughed it off. Next, they arrived at a shimmering lake where 12 handsome princes waited in 12 boats, each adorned with a graceful swan. The young man hopped into the boat with the youngest princess. As they crossed the lake, the prince rowing the boat complained that it felt unusually heavy, but he couldn't see anyone else. The youngest princess grew more and more anxious, feeling that something was just not right. They finally reached a magnificent, brightly lit castle on the other side. Music filled the air, and the princesses and princes danced with boundless energy all night long. While they were celebrating, the invisible young man spotted a beautiful golden cup. He quickly slipped it into his pocket as more proof. They danced until the morning sun began to rise, at which point the princesses, looking exhausted, were rowed back across the lake and hurried back up the secret staircase. They returned to their room just before the lock was turned, their shoes completely destroyed. The next morning, the young man stood before the king. "Your Majesty," he began, "I have solved the mystery." The princesses stood nearby, looking pale and nervous, certain he couldn't possibly know their secret. The young man then recounted the entire journey, describing the secret passage and the underground castle. The princesses denied everything, calling him a dreamer. But then the young man pulled out his evidence. First, the silver branch. The princesses gasped. Then he presented the golden cup from the magical castle. At the sight of the cup, the princesses knew they were caught. They confessed everything to their father. The king, true to his word, allowed the young man to choose a bride. He chose the youngest princess, not just for her beauty, but because he had noticed her kind and honest heart. She was the only one who sensed something was amiss and felt true remorse. They were married in a grand ceremony, and the young man eventually became a wise and beloved king. The secret tunnel was sealed forever, but the story of the 12 dancing princesses became a legend. It's a wonderful reminder that secrets can't stay hidden forever, and that honesty and kindness truly do lead to the greatest rewards. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories.